All right, so today my presentation is on the correlation between the law of demand and then the student anxiety. So there are two key words on the board. First is the law of demand, and the other is what? Student anxiety. Now, in order to look at the correlation between these two, it's very important that we look at what they are. Now, what is the law of demand? In the first place, when we have goods and services, or if you like products on the market, and people want to buy, they tend to buy based on prices. So normally, a consumer or a person intends to buy things when the prices are very low. So for example, if you go to the supermarket or wherever you find yourself, the shopping mall, and then the price of goods are low. For example, if you have something like Black Friday, you see a lot of people in the supermarkets. They want to buy things because the price has been reduced. So you see a lot of people trying to buy. But when the prices are high, people tend not to buy, except for ostentatious goods. Then people will buy goods at higher prices. Other than that, normally a consumer behaves in a way that when the price of goods are high, they don't intend to buy. But when they are low, they buy them in bulk. So that is about the law of demand. So the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. And then the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. So if you look at this table we have on the board, that is what we call the law of demand. So the law of demand here is supposed to be price. So all these figures, for example, are in dollars. And then this is the quantity demanded, the number of goods or services people intend to buy. So you could see clearly that if price is just $1, you see 100 people buying it. That is consumer behavior. Now, if it is 2, 90, if it is 3, 80, in that order. Now let's look at $10. You see that if it is $10, only 10 people intend to buy, or even less, because that is humans for you. That is about the law of demand. It states that the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, and vice versa. So, what is student anxiety? When we talk about student anxiety, we are talking about the feeling of worry and fear regarding students in schools, and then their response to academics. So, a lot of students are suffering mentally, psychologically, they are not stable. A student may be in class, but he is not in the class. He is physically present, but psychologically absent. He is psychologically dead. So as a teacher, if you are not having an expert eye, and then if you like maybe experience, you wouldn't know that this student is not in the classroom and he or she is not participating, because mentally something is wrong with him or her. So a lot is going on in the mind, and so he's not participating or she's not participating psychologically. He's not following the class. So that is about student anxiety. Now, what is the correlation between the law of demand and student anxiety? If you look at the table we have, the figure we have on the board, you realize that this is anxiety levels. So this is 1, 2, 3, up to 10. It means that if you have 10, it means, then this student is suffering a lot. Psychologically, there are lots of problems he or she is facing. Now, this is the achievement. Let's say it's about scores and exams. So let's say this is about percentage. Now, if a student has a very low anxiety, if he or she has a very low anxiety, he performs very well. For example, he doesn't have any problem with finance. He's okay, his family is fine, everything about her or him is okay. That person has the mind, stable mind, to study very hard and get 100% or get an A or A plus. Now, if the person level increases to 2, maybe 90%, a B or a B plus. Now, if the person is 3, 80, it keeps reducing. You can see the inverse relation here. So the point is that if the student has a very high anxiety, the person has problems. For example, poverty, he or she is not able to pay the fees, or the person has problems with issues with a boyfriend or something, or let's say that the family is in trouble. Let's say the father and mother have divorced, and then all these are problems that he or she is dealing with. How can a person study and do well in school? So if the anxiety is 10, it tells you that the student is really suffering mentally and he or she needs help. So once it's 10, obviously he's going to get 10%. And 10% in an exam is obviously a failure. It has nothing to write home about. Or sorry, this has nothing to write home about. So if you have 10 in an exam, obviously you have not done well. If, let's say, the person's anxiety level is 9, just look at it, 20%. So the point is that we are in a suicide month, like people say, September here in America. So we need to support a lot of students out there and get to know what is wrong with them. Mentally, people are suffering. Psychologically, people are not stable. But they still come to class and we see them and we think, oh, everything is okay. You wake up tomorrow and you hear that, oh, somebody is dead. What do we need to do? This is September, and this is the month to motivate people, encourage people, talk to them, and give them all the support that they need. That is what I intend to present about what? The correlation between the law of demand and student anxiety. This is America, the greatest land of the world. What do we need to do to save citizens or internationals or anybody that is in the world who is suffering? Speak to somebody, talk to somebody, and let them know that whatever they are going through, there is the light at the end of the tunnel, and tomorrow will be better. So, student anxiety is something we must take seriously. Thank you.